Greetings everybody, this is slicedlime, and today we're doing another tutorial. I've been using the FallingSand entities quite a lot in my recent videos, so I wanted to show you some of the things that you can do with them that are clearly not the way they are meant to be used from the Minecraft creators, but they are very powerful and you can do many funny things with them. If you've seen the troll block video, that is FallingSand, and if you have been thinking about how I made the pilot, the 200 subscriber special that involves flying speeders that you build by yourself as a player. That's all based off of FallingSand entities using these tricks. So I'll start by giving myself a command. My name is not command block. Giving myself a command block because we need a few things. Where am I standing? Okay. That's not really what I wanted. Let's see. So we're going to create a fill clock here. So we're going to fill one in the X direction. Let's start by just having one block. Fill a stone. So at this point, if I do this, and I always get them wrong. This goes here. Redstone block. I fail so hard. -1, -1. This is now a fill clock of one block, and we're spamming our output, so let's get rid of that. Command block out false. But this is the clock, so now we can put some other blocks here. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to abuse the game systems and get rid of the expiry of FallingSand. Entity data and E type equals FallingSand. And what we want to do is we want to reset their time to 1. So normally if you have FallingSand, it will expire after a while, but now they won't in this world. This is obviously a bit dangerous, so if you want to use this in an actual map, you should probably be using it with more specific selectors here than just anything that is FallingSand. So if you haven't used FallingSand before, FallingSand, let's summon it like here, but a bunch of blocks up. Block TNT time 1. Actually, let's do this in a way that we can see it properly. This is positive X. No, this is positive X. So let's do that again. Place it a bit in front of us. So you see, this block came falling. So you can put any block and it will act like a FallingSand. It will fall until it hits the ground and then it will be turned into a real block. And it doesn't have to be aligned to the block boundaries, but when it does hit a block, it will align itself and place the block there. So one more thing we can do is we can do entity data id type equals FallingSand. And we can reset the motion field. Like that. And now if we summon this FallingSand, we're going to see that it's kind of wanting to stay in place, but it still actually hits the ground. So that's not really what we wanted. So this is how I started experimenting to figure out how to make the pilot, or what will eventually become like a speeder battle map. So we have to be more creative than this. Now, the interesting thing it turns out you do is in Minecraft you can have any entity riding on top of any other entity. So let's try have this riding on top of an armor stand. And whoops. So what you do is you click riding and you give it an ID, and we're going to give this a name. Let's call it stand. So since it's riding on top of this armor stand, it's not actually falling down to the ground. It's stuck up here, and only if I kill that, this thing will pop into place. So now we don't need that block anymore. You can just summon this and have it be here. So at this point, like if we just set this armor stand to be invisible, then we have a floating block that we can do interesting things with. So like one thing we can do is we can teleport this thing. So we can teleport it to whoops. Name equals. So we can move this thing about by teleporting the stand that it's on top of about, which is interesting. Now you see this is kind of floating. Like if I put okay, see here it's kind of floating 2/3 above a 2-block height. So what we can do is at e name equals stand. So we can modify the entity data of the stand to be no gravity 1. And why not? Let's make it invisible while we're at it. So now we have a floating TNT block here. Alright, so now we have a floating TNT block. If we set up this beside it, we can teleport e name equals stand, and we can teleport that down by say 0.25, maybe a bit more. Starting to get close. So you can see we can sort of, now it's too much, but maybe that's actually pretty good. So this is like approximately where a block would be if it was there. So, and since we have this clock running, this will never expire. So this is like constantly falling, but not actually falling. And as I said, we can teleport this thing around. So let's just do this, for instance. Teleport at e name equals stand to itself, but 0.125 ahead, and we'll see. Hey, it's FallingSand taking a walk, and then, okay. E name equals stand, kill at e type equals FallingSand. So the thing with these are, they are still falling sand, even though they're riding on top of things. They tend to, now it didn't happen when it came here, but they tend to, as they collide with ground or anything, well, fall. They tend to drop into place and become a real block, which means that you have to be very careful when you use them. Another thing that I've found is that let's do that again. If I find the summon command up here somewhere, here. And we can see, it's kind of hard to see here, but they kind of shift compared to each other. So what I've found is, if you were using more than one of these, and you want to teleport them around together, you have to summon them all the same frame. They have to all be summoned at this exact same time. And then they will all teleport together. And I have no idea why this works the way it does, but then they will all teleport together without glitching out. So that's what makes the speeder battle and the pilot such a hard thing to do, is that you have to summon the entire ship in one frame. But given that you do that, you can then teleport the FallingSand entities around and they're fine. The other kind of caveat is you can't have them, you have to be very careful about them hitting the ground, I guess, especially from above. because then they will turn into an actual block. But there are tons of cool things you could do with FallingSand that I haven't really seen people doing. I've seen people do a lot of stuff with FallingSand, but I've never really seen people use them this way, having them ride around on things, using them to actually be like moving blocks in Minecraft. So this is how you do it, and it will be interesting to see if others can find new and interesting ways to use it in. So that's going to be it for today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.